Hi everyone, so I know it's been a minute since we've had our cooking video series, but for those who have been here before and for those who are here for the first time, welcome to Christy's Cookbook Chronicles. I'm sorry, it's been a second since I've posted. I have been studying very hard for some certifications, and so I had to take a little bit of a break, but I'm back. And so today we are again cooking out of our African American Heritage Cookbook, and the recipe today is called My Grandmother's Meatloaf. And so I hope that you will enjoy this video. I hope you'll cook along, and don't forget to leave a comment letting me know that you've made it and what your thoughts about it were. Okay, please like, share, and subscribe if you dig this kind of content. All right, let's get cooking. Welcome to my cozinha in Portugal. So again, today we're making my grandmother's meatloaf out of our cookbook. And it calls for 2 pounds of ground chuck, or 88% to 92% lean ground beef, a half a pound of ground veal, and a half a pound of ground pork. And it says not sausage. So in here, I already have my beef and my pork already pre-mixed from my butcher. And unfortunately, I didn't get veal because, surprisingly enough, they usually always have veal. There was none that day, so I'm winging it with this. It also calls for us to have 3.5 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce, Worcestershire, however you say it, this sauce. And it wants us to have 1.5 teaspoons of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, also a half a teaspoon of pepper, and I think 3/4 teaspoon of onion powder. So I've already pre-mixed mine in here. It calls for 3/4 cup of light cream and 2 slices of white bread with the edges, the crust cut off, and 1 egg lightly beaten. So we'll beat that. And you're going to add all of this to your meat mixture, and then we'll take it from there. So the recipe calls for us to add all of these seasonings to the meat. I always, usually if it's dry seasonings, I pre-mix them in one bowl to cut down the mess. And so I've already mixed all of my seasonings. I'm going to put those in there. It says to add our Worcestershire sauce, Worcestershire, 3.5 teaspoons of this. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. I'm gonna wing a half. I have a half measurement, but I don't feel like it. So there's our 3.5 teaspoons of the Worcestershire sauce. And we're going to add our egg. It says for the egg to be lightly beaten. So we're gonna beat that a bit. And it calls for 1 medium onion to be chopped. And so I'm not going to chop my onion. I'm going to mince it because I'm not really a big fan of onion. I don't want big pieces of onion in there, so I'm going to mince mine right now and add that to the mixture. Okay, so we've chopped our onion and we're going to add that to the mixture. And it says to put your white bread, the 2 slices, whole on top. I would have probably if I weren't following the recipe, cut this up into little pieces or broken it up, but I'm gonna follow it. And it says to pour our cream, our light cream, slowly on top of the bread so that it can soften. So we're gonna do that. And now you mix it all up by hand. So we're gonna just get on in there. And a lot of people I see using gloves to do this now. I think you should feel your food. That's just me personally, but again, your cozinha, again our Portuguese words, your rules. So you decide what's right for you. So we'll mix this up and then we'll put it into our loaf pan. So I've got my loaf pan. This is I think 9.25 by 2.25 inch. I'm sorry, 9.25 by 5.25 inch loaf pan. You're going to take your meat mixture and you're gonna just gently put it in there. You're not gonna pack it down because it makes meatloaf tough when you do that. So you're just gonna kind of gently shape it in there. And then after you get it the way you want it in your pan, you're going to bake this for 45 minutes to an hour in the 375-degree Fahrenheit oven. So the next step is you'll be seeing me with the finished product, and we'll taste it and see how we like it. So here's our finished meatloaf. It's very pretty. Yours will probably be larger than this, sit higher. Remember, I omitted the vitella, the veal, because my butcher didn't have veal. So you should have a little bit more meat in your pan. But this is what it looks like finished. So now let's taste it. So yes, as you can see, my curls have fallen. I had to run out in the rain while this was cooking. But we have now sliced our meatloaf, and we're gonna taste it and see what we think about it and about this recipe. It's quite delicious, perfectly seasoned, perfectly juicy. I taste all of the garlic, the onion and everything. So thanks for joining me. I am so grateful to have you guys along with me on this cooking journey. Again, the recipe and all the ingredients will be in the comments below the video in the description. And so again, I think this my grandmother's meatloaf was a winner. It was very delicious, very tasty, and most of all, not dry at all, super juicy. So I hope you'll give it a shot, give it a taste test, let me know how it goes, and report back to all of us. And tune in for the next recipe. I think we'll do maybe another beverage or possibly dessert. So I'll keep you posted. See you next time. Ciao.